This podcast is brought to you by the Maryland State Library Agency. The MSLA podcast features presenters from statewide youth programs, as well as learning opportunities for library staff and resources for patrons of the Maryland State Library for the Blind and Print Disabled.
The following is a presentation of the Technology User Group at the Maryland State Library for the Blind and Print Disabled. For more information about the Technology User Group, including upcoming sessions or archived recordings from previous sessions, please visit our website, lbpd.maryland.gov. That's L, B as in Bravo, P as in Paul, D as in Delta, .maryland.gov. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Technology User Group for June of 2025, as we're going to look at some low vision oriented issues today. And this is one of those technology user groups where it really paid to come out live and see what was going on. So the podcast may not be as interesting as previous podcasts have been, just because it's so visual. So we're going to be looking at the Rebokeh App, and we have Rebokeh Rosenberg, who's doing a presentation, and Michael Battista from HumanWare will be talking about the Prodigi software for computers. And I think that you'll find both presenters to be incredibly interesting, and hope that you will enjoy the topics. And so what we're going to hear is we're going to hear Rebokeh Rosenberg talk about the Rebokeh app and all of its utilizations, and then we'll take a little break. We'll hear from Michael Battista and HumanWare, and that'll be it for this particular podcast. So enjoy, and thanks so much for tuning in.
Hey, my name is Rebokeh Rosenberg. I am so excited to share with you a little bit more about Rebokeh today. I apologize that I'm not able to be there virtually in person live, but I'm excited to be able to share a little bit more about Rebokeh and all of the things that we've built and the way that our tool can really support the low vision population in a unique way. So without further ado, I'm going to pull up my presentation here and we'll get started. Okay, so we are Rebokeh, and we are powering truly visually inclusive experiences. My name is Rebokeh Rosenberg. I'm actually the founder and CEO of Rebokeh. I started the company out of my dorm room in college, actually because I have low vision as a result of albinism, which is a rare genetic condition. So this is me in about the second grade doing my homework. And one of the first things you might notice is just how close my face needs to be to that workbook in order for me to see what's going on. And standing in front of you today in my 20s, I can say that I still have to do this. I still struggle to read the menu board at Starbucks. I still hold my phone really close to my face. And this is still a problem. The second thing you might notice is that I'm actually not wearing any glasses. And the reason for that is because the type of vision impairment that I have is not correctable with glasses or LASIK or really any other capabilities that we currently have available to us. I have albinism. It's a rare genetic condition that affects the body's ability to produce melanin. And there really is nothing that we can do about that right now in our society. And so let me break down what that means a little bit further. I'm very likely preaching to the choir here, but for the sake of completion, we can think of vision impairment as very much a spectrum, where on one side you have those with, air quotes, perfect 20/20 vision, and on the other side, total blindness. Those of us in the middle are generally referred to as visually impaired or low vision. If you're relatively close to the right side of the spectrum, generally all you need is a pair of glasses or LASIK surgery to get you back up to perfect or effectively perfect vision. And if you're relatively close to the left side of the spectrum here, Generally, there are devices like these, the CCTV and the iris vision, that can aid individuals who are blind. But for those of us in the middle, things are a little bit different. We need more help than the technologies on the right are able to provide, but the devices on the left are bulky, they're expensive, and they're overall just not designed for us. And what I mean when I say that is that between 85 and 90% of people with diagnosed vision impairments, so individuals who are blind or have low vision, 85 to 90% of us actually retain some amount of functional sight. But oftentimes when we think about accessibility initiatives and assistive technologies for this population, we're actually thinking about defaulting away from vision to audio only or tactile only options. But the reason this is so important is because this really large portion of the population really wants to make use of the functional sight that they have, especially in our highly visual world. And this is not a small number of people. This amounts to more than 25 million Americans across the US. And this doesn't even begin to account for the fact that just about everybody over 45 is experiencing regular age-related vision loss. And at the end of the day, really, what we have learned is that visually impaired individuals are looking to make their environment more viewable, because oftentimes vision is still their primary sense. It's still the way their brains are wired to move through the world, and it's really how they prefer to understand things around them. Many of us are still visual learners. And so that information sort of led me out of my dorm room in college to design the Rebokeh App, which is a system that aids low vision individuals in making the most of their functional sight by allowing them to use their iOS device to adjust their visual experience. So I promise I'm going to show you more about how this looks and what this does in just a minute. But basically, you're using your iOS device like a photo editing app for real life. You're getting a live view from your camera, and you're able to adjust things like contrast, brightness, different colors, all in real time to make your environment more viewable. We also work with a handful of organizations that we call our Rebokeh All Access partners. So these are spaces where you can actually go in and use the full version of Rebokeh totally for free. There are also some additional features that include some AI capabilities that are exclusively available at our partner sites. If you go on our website, you can take a look at all of our partner sites. These are just some of them. The Miami International Airport, the Detroit Zoological Society, the Fernbank Museum in Atlanta, the Art Museum of South Texas. We've been really lucky to work with a number of organizations, and we continue to work with additional organizations. And I invite you, if there is any museum or zoo or airport or space where you would like to have Rebokeh available, please reach out to us, please reach out to them, and let them know that they should become a Rebokeh All Access partner. We've also been really lucky that the technology has been featured across a number of news outlets like BBC and Forbes and TechCrunch and CBS, which is really, really exciting. So I'm going to walk through a handful of sort of video demos of Rebokeh. But before I do that, I want to give you the opportunity to follow along. So I'm just going to leave this QR code up here for just a moment so that you have a chance to pull out your device and scan the QR code and actually download it so that you can work alongside of us. I will let you know here that right now Rebokeh is iOS only. So we are in the early stages of development working toward having an Android version, but about 85% of blind and low vision people are using iOS devices to begin with because they have better onboard accessibility features. So this will work on your iPhone, it'll work on your iPad, and hopefully very soon it will work on your Android as well. We're just not quite there yet. And while I just leave this up for a minute so that anyone who wants to can grab it, I'm going to make sure that my recording is going the way that it should, and it looks like it is. Okay, I'll just leave that for just a moment. You'll notice as you're downloading Rebokeh and sort of getting it set up, you're actually met almost immediately with a tutorial video, and you're welcome to go through that tutorial video. It's about 5 minutes long, and it'll walk you through all of the features that will be immediately available to you when you download Rebokeh, as well as some of the things available in our premium subscription tier, which is Rebokeh Plus. And I will actually additionally today walk you through some features that are only available at our partner sites. But if you want to take a look at that tutorial, you're welcome to do that as well. I'm going to go through some examples of how this works, but we're not going to do like quite the full step-by-step, button-by-button walkthrough that you will get in that tutorial. So if you want to even skip that for now, if you go back into your settings menu when you're done, which is in the top left corner, and scroll down to replay tutorial, you're able to access that whenever you want. Okay, and with that, just going to walk through a handful of videos of some of the ways that our users are using Rebokeh and some of the features that it has available. So one of the main things that Rebokeh users are using the technology for is actually to be able to shop independently. So being able to read price tags, look for sizing information, pricing information, look at nutrition labels in the grocery store. So what you're seeing here is actually the use of one of our inversion filter options. So you can see the button in the bottom left-hand side at the top is turned white, whereas all the other buttons are black. And that's because one of our inversion filters is being used in this situation. We also have people who use it for a number of different attraction viewing experiences, whether they're at the zoo or a museum or they're at a stadium watching a game. One of the things Rebokeh does really well is just pure zoom. We can actually zoom a whole lot further with Rebokeh than we can with just our regular device camera, because what we've really done is taken the really good camera hardware you have on your device, and we've optimized that for a vision enhancement experience. So you can see in this video, we really get a close-up and clear view of the texture of the flamingo feathers, which is just not something that without a tool like this, I would ever be able to do myself. And what's really cool about the way that we do zoom with Rebokeh is that you can actually, you don't have to pinch to zoom. You can actually just take one finger and gently slide up from the bottom to zoom in, and then gently slide down, and that will zoom you in and out. We did that because during our beta test, we actually found that users wanted to be able to use Rebokeh with just one hand. So instead of needing one hand to hold your device and one hand to kind of pinch to zoom, you can use just one hand and use your thumb to slide up and down. And now you're able to use it just one-handed. We can also use Rebokeh for things like sporting events. So this button we're using here will actually increase the contrast, which is meaningful for people with a whole lot of different vision impairments to just increase how much contrast is there. Now we're actually able to follow along with what's going on in this game. We can actually see and identify the ball, follow along with it as it's moving, and now really actually, for somebody like me, understand, why the crowd is cheering or why the crowd is booing, as opposed to just kind of sitting there not really being able to follow the ball. And in just a second here, you'll be able to see just a few of our other inversion option filters. So that is our total color inversion. We can also do some black and white. And then in just a second here, you'll be able to take a look at some of our color filters. So that's that color wheel button in the bottom left-hand side. And the first slider will actually let you choose any color on the rainbow spectrum. And then the second slider, once you've chosen your color, will actually let you choose how much of that color is applied. But we can do things like this and tint our whole scene a color. These features actually specifically are really cool because we originally intended them for the low vision community because really they were meant to mimic something that I had experienced growing up, which is just these like plastic color transparencies that they would give me that would overlay on top of whatever I was trying to read. And it would help just make it easier on my eyes. It sort of helped increase contrast, reduce some of the glare. Though when we rebuilt these digitally, we discovered that they're also helpful for people who are colorblind in differentiating between colors they otherwise wouldn't be able to. We found that the color filters are useful for people with dyslexia in mitigating some of the effects of dyslexia. We've also found that they're useful for people who are neurodivergent in just kind of calming down a scene and making it a little bit more comfortable to experience and look at, especially in a space that has a lot going on. It just sort of minimizes how much is going on for that person and helps them look at it for a little longer. And then something else Rebokeh can do, so we're not really like a true wayfinding technology, but we can actually help you to engage with the wayfinding information that is already available to you. So this is actually one of our partner sites at the Detroit Zoo. And we're able to obviously zoom in on that. We can use some of our inversion features, our filters, to adjust how this looks, change the text color from black on white to white on black, and actually make this a whole lot more viewable. You'll actually see in this video a light kind of yellow oval at the bottom that looks like it has a link written in it. This is actually our QR code scanning feature. And I will say we added this in there as just kind of like an option to be available. So you didn't have to switch to your camera when you were in Rebokeh to scan a QR code. And I will say that our tool is like the best QR code scanner I have ever used in my entire life. Really, really interestingly, it does an incredible job like grabbing a QR code that you didn't even see and like vibrating your device to let you know it's there, and then unobtrusively making that link available. If you want to click on it, it will pull up the QR code just like anything else would. And it works really, really well. It's really sensitive to QR codes, which is, I think, really useful, especially for somebody with low vision who is maybe struggling to like exactly line up their device with the QR code and like exactly touch on it the right way, the way that you need to do in the camera app. We also have a lot of people who use Rebokeh in environments like this to read departure boards and other information at your airport or your transit hub. We've actually just this week launched Rebokeh with the Miami International Airport, which is really, really exciting. And this is actually one of the main use cases. So to be able to read at a distance when maybe you otherwise wouldn't be able to see this at all, or maybe there's too big of a crowd, too many people between you and the departure board, and you really need to see that information. Because sometimes your app, your Southwest app, in my case, is not actually updating the gate information or the flight timing quite as quickly as this board is. And so this is just another way we see people using Rebokeh. This is another one of my absolute favorite features of what we do. So on the bottom left-hand side, the second button up from the bottom is actually our exposure button. And so what that will do is actually brighten an image. So it will make whatever you're looking at appear brighter without blasting the flash. This is one of the things people like quite a bit about using Rebokeh in a museum environment, because a lot of those spaces are really dark, as you can see. And this is able to help make that brighter without putting in harm's way any of the things that are in the museum that actually can't be exposed to light. You can also think about this in like a dark restaurant. I know I've seen a million people, use their phone flashlight or take a picture of a menu and try to zoom in. Really, what we've done with Rebokeh is just optimizing for that. And we can use our exposure feature, our brightness feature here, to make that menu look a little brighter, even if we are without using the flash and kind of calling attention to ourselves in that environment, which I know many of us often do not like to do. And then last but certainly not least, I want to talk about a relatively new capability to Rebokeh that is actually only available at our partner sites. And again, you can take a look at our website if you scroll down to see our Rebokeh all access locations, where you can actually access what we are calling Rebokeh AI. So this is actually currently separated into two different features. So I'm going to actually start with the video on the right here. So this is our image description capability. And you'll see this button here that's sort of like a magnifying glass and a thought bubble. And this, if you point your device at something that you want an image description of, and so here, we're having a little bit of a hard time with this video, but we're actually pointing our device toward this lion. And if we just hit our image description button, we actually get an AI-generated image description here. And this does a really fantastic job of giving you a verbal visual description of whatever it is that you're looking at. So all you have to do is point your device in the direction of the thing that you're looking at. You tap that button, it will kind of automatically take a capture of what you're looking at, and it will give you this description. So you don't have to keep holding your device up while it's generating. It will take that quick snapshot and generate based on that. And then you get this really fantastic description of what it is you're looking at. We found it works really well with our zoo partners in actually like even identifying animals that we didn't intend it to. It just does a really good job. And then you'll see at the bottom of the text, there's actually this little speaker button here. And if you hit that, it will actually read out loud to you as well. So if you're really having a bad vision day, you really don't want to use your site, that will actually read that out loud to you, which is really cool. And then moving to this other video here. So this is our Rebokeh AI feature that does a very similar thing, but will let you actually grab a screen capture of whatever it is that you're looking at, and then actually not just give you an image description, but actually let you ask whatever you want. So in this case, we can ask how much is a soft drink, and we've grabbed this picture of a menu here. And so Rebokeh AI is going to look in that picture, figure out how much a soft drink is, and then actually let you know. And as you can see, your text box here doesn't go away. So you can continue to ask questions of this. So if you've got an image of your menu board, you can say, hey, are there free refills on the soft drinks? And if that information is available on the board there, it will tell you whether or not there are free refills on your drink. And so this is a really cool way to not just get an image description, but actually continue to interact. And as you'll see, that speaker button is still there. So you can still use that to have any answers read out loud to you. And then that is sort of the end of my examples, but I like to just share very briefly again a little bit about our all access sites. And so basically what Rebokeh does is we can use geofencing, which is really just a fancy way of saying we use GPS location to unlock all of the features of Rebokeh to our users totally for free and without an account when they enter into one of our partner sites. So when you download Rebokeh, it may ask you to give location permission. Even if you just say while using the app, you definitely want to do that because that will let you know when you enter one of our all access sites, you'll get a notification that says that you've entered one of our all access sites and you can use our features like Rebokeh AI while you're there. Right now, we are working on expanding our all access partner network in Maryland. If there's a space that you think should make Rebokeh available, please do let them know that they can reach out to us. We are actively accepting new partners, and we're really excited to bring more organizations in. I didn't mention this at the beginning, but I personally live in Baltimore. I am a Marylander myself, and I'm very excited to have this available in more places in Maryland. So please do feel free to send those organizations to us to make this available to you as a tool. And that is sort of the end of our presentation today. Again, I apologize for not being able to do this live, but I welcome you to shoot me an email if you have questions about Rebokeh, if there's a space you'd like to see Rebokeh All Access be available. My email is here. It is just my first name, Rebekah, Rebecca. The company name, which is Rebokeh, Rebokeh.com. I share this, sincerely. I welcome you to reach out, and please feel free to let me know if you have questions as they come up. You can also use the contact us page on our website and somebody will get back to you. So I thank you so much for your time and attention. I welcome you to try out Rebokeh, share your feedback, share your thoughts with us, and send any all access partner organizations that you want to see in our direction. But thank you so much. It's been wonderful to virtually asynchronously chat with you today. And I look forward to connecting sometime in the future.
Would you like to get the Technology User Group presentation every month with little effort? Just subscribe to the Maryland State Library Agency podcast using your favorite podcast catcher. Then each month you will automatically receive informative and inspiring presentation. Remember, you can also listen on your smartphone or speaker. Say something like, Alexa, play Maryland State Library Agency podcast.
Good morning. My name is Michael Battista. I am with Integration Technologies Group. We are located in Falls Church, Virginia. We are an authorized reseller, service, and repair facility representing HumanWare, Freedom Scientific, Optelec, and Orcam. Today, I am excited and happy to be showing a quick demonstration of the HumanWare Prodigy for Windows OCR software package. This is a setup that has taken the very successful Prodigy platform and put it onto Windows-based computers and tablets. So that way you don't have to have multiple pieces of equipment floating around and to help with your everyday lives. Again, I'm with Integration Technologies Group, or ITG. My name is Michael Battista. If you would like some more information or just to learn more about what we have or how we might be able to help you out, we can be contacted by phone at 703-698-8282 or via email at accessibilityteam@itgonline.com. That's ACCESSIBILITY team@itgonline.com. Like I said, today we're going to be talking about the Prodigy for Windows software from HumanWare. So a quick overview. Prodigy for Windows is a OCR-based system that uses a document camera to scan documents and get them onto your computer, and then uses all the features that have previously existed for Prodigy all in one package. It is fully JAWS accessible. It can announce all the keystrokes that you need. It has hotkeys capabilities. So really quite a functional piece of software. So what I'm going to do now, first, I'm just going to show you kind of what comes in the package with the Prodigy for Windows. So Prodigy for Windows, it comes with the software, obviously, that goes on the computer. It gets downloaded and installed. It comes with the Solo 8 document camera. Connects to the computer via USB plug, and then it comes with a carrying case and some Microsoft Surface kind of dots and identifier buttons and things like that. But again, your package that you get, primarily carrying case, software for the computer, and then the document camera. Once the software is installed on your computer, you go to a very familiar Prodigy landing page that looks just like this. I can select my magnifier. I can select my distance camera. I can open up files that I've either saved or I can import from my computer. I can change my settings, and I can use the help menu. We're going to start today in the magnifier mode. So I'm going to click into magnifier mode. Obviously, you see my mode is live. I'm in my settings, so I'm all set there. I can have all sorts of different settings. I can go different brightnesses, different contrasts, whether that's color, negative, or positive. I can change my contrast colors to all different options. I have autofocus. And then my speech I have set to documents only, and I have my OCR enabled. There are 53 languages, 70 voices that can be selected, all sorts of different options that we can take advantage of. So right now, as you see on the screen, I have my live mode. If I put my hand under there, you can see my hand goes there. There's very little lag. It's pretty instantaneous because it is a wired connection from the camera. You can see kind of the document kind of zooming in and out. That's the autofocus feature that's coming into play. But right now I'm in my live magnification mode in my text, ready for text to speech. So if I would like to take a picture of what I'm looking at, I'm just going to go over to this camera looking button here, and I can either click it with my mouse or my touchpad, or I can hit enter. When I do that, it snaps a photo. You hear that camera button in the background. And you can see the traditional Prodigy diamond edge text. So it has taken everything. Right now it is black letters on a white background, with my highlighter being white letters with a black background. I can make this bigger. As I make it bigger, you're going to see, again, I'm in live picture mode. So you're going to see that I can just pan around. This is what my actual image looks like. I'm going to zoom back out so we can back to the full page. I can change my mode. So my reading mode, I currently have set up as column. So I'm going to go to page and show you what that looks like. So now I'm in my full page. I'm going to go back in and I'm going to change it back to column so you can see the difference. So if I hit column, and I go back to my menu, and this is where the change happens. I'm going to then go over to my play button, and I'm going to hit enter.
Developing the leader within you. Chapter 1 - the definition.
And now I'm going to pause it so we can talk about this. So as you can see, it took me out of my full page mode, took me into the diamond edge column mode. What that means is that no matter how large or small I make my text, everything is going to fit within one column. I can either have it read out loud to me by, again, hitting the play button.
Developing the leader within you. Chapter 1 - the definition of leadership influence, being able to cause other people to move in the direction that they need to go to achieve the aims of the organization.
Or if I would like, I don't even need to have it read aloud. I can just read, and I can scroll and read at my convenience. I can just have it on there, so I can make this as big as I need. Medium, standard, large, or very large. Again, everything on the screen is going to be maintained within this column. I really like column mode because we don't have to worry about panning side to side. Again,
speech off.
If I double click, I can turn my speech off. So now I can just manually scroll up and down and read as I see fit. If I don't need it this large, I'm just going to zoom out and go back. If I wanted to read, I'm just going to hit play, and it's going to automatically scroll for me if I don't have my speech on. Again,
define leadership as a position, not as the ability, one facet of being a leader. You are initially given a position of authority.
A double click is going to turn the speech back on. If I double click
speech
again,
off.
I'm going to turn my speech off. If I hit play, it's just going to continue to scroll the screen so I can read as it goes. Just like we said in the live mode, I can change all sorts of different things. So I can change my contrast color if I don't want black on white. If I want a different color, let's say I want yellow on black, I can change that. It's automatically going to change in my system. Again, if I hit play, it's going to just start scrolling right now because I don't have speech on. If I double click, it's going to start speaking.
Position of authority, but people don't follow positions. They follow people.
And I've double clicked again to turn the speech off, and it automatically scrolls. Once I'm done, I can go back to my original page. You can see the contrast stayed where I left it when it was in the speaking mode. So I'm going to go back here to my black on white and then go back out to my document. And this is where, if I wanted to save something on the computer, I could do that. I can click this save button in the bottom right-hand corner. I can hit enter, and I just saved it. And we're all set. And now it's going to save that document, and I will show you in a minute where that document went. When I'm all done with this, I hit this back button, and now I'm back out onto my very familiar Prodigy homepage carousel. The nice thing about this, there's only 5 items on the carousel. Like I said, there's the magnifier. There's the distance camera, so if you want to just flip the camera around and show something in the distance, you can. Files, settings, and help. So I'm going to go into files now because that's where I just saved my developing the leader within you document. You can see here, there's my picture. I saved it right here. If I wanted to read that, I could. I've saved some other things over time, just different documents, different pictures for different examples. If you would like to, you can also, and this is one thing that's really cool, I can import from my computer. So I can go to settings, I can create folders, I can modify the dates, I can import, I can delete everything. I don't know if we want to do that, but you can. But let's say if I wanted to import a document that I received via an email, it can be in a PDF, a Word document, a text file, all sorts of different things, and I can import that. And again, here's where I get to decide where I'm going to import it. So from documents, downloads, desktop pictures, anywhere you want on your computer, I can do that. So I'm going to look and see if I have anything here that I can't. I don't have anything that I want to import, so I'm going to do it from my desktop. Again, I have different files on my desktop. Let's say we wanted the Prodigi for Windows user guide. I am going to import that. It says the file name already exists, but we're going to overwrite that and say yes. Okay, so it's importing. It's importing 61 pages of this document right now. So it's going to be pretty quick. Probably takes about, I'm going to say for 60 pages, it's probably going to take us about 30 seconds. But that's pretty quick because if it would be quicker than trying to scan, 60 pages of text to get it into our system from OCR standpoint. While this is importing, I wanted to just touch on a couple things. The price for this setup is $1,395. Again, it comes with the software, the document camera, the carrying case, the next 2 software updates as well. So it comes with quite a bit. If you already have your own document camera that you would like to use, you can get it. The price of just the software alone is $995. And then there's also an option for an all-in-one that includes a 24-inch monitor with a built-in computer in that monitor. It's like the Windows all-in-one package, and that's around $3,000 for that particular package. But as this system here that I'm demonstrating it's $1,395. So my 61-page document is done. So now I can open that up and I can see each and every page that got imported. So I'm just going to pick something randomly with a lot of text, and I'm going to enter into that. And now here we see I'm in a quote unquote live mode where it's showing me what the full page would look like on my screen. Just like I did when I was using my document camera, which I'm not using anymore. I'm using the imported document from my computer. I'm going to hit play.
4.1 Updating Prodigi. When Prodigi Windows is...
And just like it did before, when I hit play, it took that document and it put it into my column mode. So again, no matter how large or small I make this, it's going to be in one column. I can still turn the speech on and off. If it's off, I can have it play so it auto scrolls.
When Prodigi Windows is started, an available updates window will pop up if an update is available.
When it's on, you're going to hear it. So that is a quick overview of what the software can do. Obviously, I could go into a lot more information. I don't want to inundate you with too much, but the biggest thing is if you already have a computer and you're just looking for some OCR software that can do both documents on your computer and text physical documents outside of your computer, this might be a great fit. Another nice thing, using the Windows Tab key, I can go to different parts of my system. So right now I'm in the Prodigi for Windows software. If I Alt Tab and I select my internet home screen, here I am at my internet browser. So I could be listening to a document, reading a document. Maybe it was one that I scanned in. Maybe it was one that I took off my computer. It could be either one. Who knows? And then I needed to go back out on the internet, go back into my emails, wherever it may be. I can easily do that using Windows Tab and then getting back into my document reading. So that being said, I wanted to thank Jerry for inviting me to create this video today to show you all the capabilities of the Prodigi for Windows software system. Again, my name is Michael Battista. I'm with Integration Technologies Group, located in Falls Church, Virginia. I'm happy to answer any questions. We're available via phone at 703-698-8282 or via email at accessibilityteam@itgonline.com. Jerry has my email. He's got my contact information, so you can also reach out to him to get my contact. But again, Prodigy for Windows, great compact system. If you already have a working computer, it just adds a document camera and then software on the computer to be able to do text-to-speech and utilize the Prodigy capabilities that have been around for many, many years, just on a standard Windows-based system. So again, Jerry, thanks for inviting me to speak, to create my video here. And I look forward to hearing if anyone has any questions or any follow-up to the Prodigy for Windows software. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
A vision bright, 18 years, a milestone so grand, a group united by a noble stand. The technology user group shines its light, guiding patrons through the digital night, enabling voices once unheard, with tools and knowledge in every word. A sanctuary for visually impaired souls, breaking barriers, achieving goals. In libraries where wisdom lives, the group educates, shares, and gives. From Braille to screen readers and tech so smart, an inclusive world they help impart. Through dedication and boundless care, they built a legacy strong and rare. Empathy woven in each thread, turning challenges into hope instead. From one device to newfound skill, a journey of empowerment they fulfill. Dreams ignited, horizons wide, through every year they help us strive. 18 years of lessons learned, a brighter future firmly earned. Celebrating patrons, the heart of it all, for in their growth the group stands tall. Through dedication and boundless care, they built a legacy strong and rare. Empathy woven in each thread, turning challenges into hope instead. Here's to the advocates, wise and kind, nurturing brilliance in hearts and minds. Technology paving roads anew, the group's journey continues through.
This has been a presentation of the Maryland State Library Agency. For links to additional resources provided by today's presenter, please visit the show notes. For more information on MSLA or the Maryland State Library for the Blind and Print Disabled, visit marylandlibraries.org.